Okay, good. But I actually don't feel entirely qualified to be the one to do it. So what I'd like to do is bring out a good friend to talk about the next one.
Return. Thank you. In late March 1987, I found myself driving off the Paramount lot, having just done what I was assured was my last audition for Star Trek: The Next Generation. There had been two of us in contention for this role. I never learned who the other actor was. I have a suspicion, but I never knew exactly who it was. And I drove to a nearby coffee shop on Melrose, bought a pile of London Sunday newspapers, and had a breakfast, a pile of pancakes, which lasted for nearly 3 hours. During those 3 hours, my agent, who had been called by the studio, was desperately trying to find me. As this was so long ago, there were no cell phones. And he wanted to tell me, Patrick, they've offered you the job, captain of the Enterprise. I was startled, stunned, and utterly disbelieving, because never for one moment had I imagined this succession of auditions at Paramount would ever lead to anything at all. And here now I was. What I didn't know either was that I was on the very, very brink, the edge of something that would touch every corner of my life. Every single corner. Of course, career, emotional, domestic, home, everything was going to be affected by it. I had led a fairly successful, but quiet, modest career until then. And in fact, maybe I've told some of you this before, but when the Los Angeles Times announced that there was to be a new Star Trek series, and they got to the cast, I was described as unknown British Shakespearean actor. Brent Spiner, you'll have heard of Brent Spiner, right? Dear and beautiful man. He had a poster made which he put on the door of my trailer. And it said, "Beware, unknown British Shakespearean." Well, that was just a clue of the fun that we were going to have. 7 years later, in All Good Things, we wrapped our television series after 178 episodes. I was always so proud of what we did. We worked very hard. We worked long hours, as people in television series do, but we were working to do the best possible show that we could. Every single member of the cast, of the production team, of the front of house, of the studio, were supporting us in this labor of love. But we did 4 more movies, 4 feature films, and quite quickly I began to see that there was not always joy and bliss attached to being in a very successful TV show. There can be a little downside, and I experienced that certainly. I remember meeting with a film director whose movie I very much wanted to be in, to play a quite small supporting role. And he said to me, you're a good actor, I really like your work, but why would I want Jean-Luc Picard in my movie? Yeah. One has mixed feelings about anecdotes like that.